Hello and good morning, everyone from Toronto, Canada. I hope all of you are doing good, and thanks for joining us today once again. This is Amir Ismail, live from Toronto, Canada. Um, we can see that we are being joined by a number of people for the first time. So, welcome everyone. And those who are our regulars, thank you for your appreciation. So, today, this being the year end session, we will be rounding up what happened in 2020, an outstanding year, um, an unprecedented year, I would say, where we saw a number of things happening in immigration industry. So we will be covering whatever transpired in the last 12 months, and we would be discussing as to what should we be anticipating in the new year. We will also be taking your questions. We sent out a link to our session where you can, in fact, join us on screen and place your calls, or you can use our WhatsApp number to make direct calls, and you can also leave your comments. So we can answer your queries. So the most of the part of the session would be um, contributed towards, allocated toward your questions. But just for a quick recap as to what happened in 2020, some of the biggest stories that happened in 2020 in immigration. So we're going to discuss about those. So let's see who is with us today. Let me acknowledge your presence, Salman Kareem. Thank you for joining us today. Arsalan Hirani, thank you once again joining us once again. We will be joined by our Asia region director Khwaja Noman as well. He'll be assisting me throughout the session, and we would be joined by a few of the other uh, people who would be interested in placing their calls uh, directly on a screen. So we have Muid Ahmed Siddiqui and Tessin Jamshed Hunzai joining us. Let me just display their names. Salman from Africa, good noon. Thank you. Arsalan Hirani, I'm good. How about you, Arsalan? Muid, how are you doing? Are you from Karachi? Good to see you. Okay, so we'll answer all these questions in just a bit. We're just acknowledging the presence and your kindness to be here. Jamshed, thank you for joining. Okay. And Ibrar Bangash. So there are other people as well who are quietly watching. Feel free to place your comments, and we would be happy to assist. So talking about what happened in Canadian immigration, when we started the year, it seemed to be an happening year, and it indeed didn't disappoint us because it was indeed a happening year where we saw some records being shattered. We saw that Canada invited more than 100,000 applicants under the Express Entry program, which is one of its kind record. And we also saw that Canada introduced a multi-year level immigration plan, which has broken the records. Since 1913, Canada initially targeted or thought about welcoming 350,000 to 360,000 immigrants, but it seems that Canada has indeed realized that immigrants are the main driver of the economy, and the commitment of Canadian government is displayed in the new announcement that was made by the Minister of Immigration in October, where he said that Canada is going to increase the number of immigrants they're going to welcome in 2021, 22, and 23 to the extent of 1.2 million immigrants. For 2021, we will be looking forward to welcoming 401,000 immigrants, new immigrants. So that means that Canada is not resigning from its position of welcoming immigrants. So we are looking forward to it. But the most outstanding announcement that startled the world at the start of the year was the announcement by the uh, Canadian government when they said that we are going to close the borders to everyone, including the United States of America. And the decision came about because the situation surrounding the coronavirus was very fluid. And of course, the best action that could have been taken at that point in time was to restrict travelers from coming to Canada. And of course, it was a surprise, but not that much of a surprise because, of course, what else the country could have done but to stop people from coming in? And it also raised doubts in the minds of people as to what's going to happen next. Will Canada stop immigration? And will there be no people allowed? But in contrast, Canada continued to welcome people, and it continued to held express entry draws. The provinces also continued to welcome new immigrants and provincial nominee programs, and we saw that the number never plunged down. And in the recent times, from September 2020 until now, we have seen that the number of people invited per draw has actually dramatically increased to 5,000 per draw. And we are going to expect that the numbers are going to increase in the future draws because Canada has to offset the number of people they have lost in terms of welcoming them due to the pandemic. So it is all about preparation for the future, and we would see more people being invited in 2021 so that Canada could make up the loss it has suffered due to restrictions. So that was one of the most important development after the border closure, that Canada never stopped welcoming people. In fact, the records have shattered for invitation. So this is an outstanding move by Canada, and we still have to see what would be the impact of that decision of, in fact, increasing the level of immigration. But it is, of course, going to be seen in future. But the intention is very clear, and the intention is to welcome more immigrants so that they can bring more talent and contribute to the economy of Canada. So this is what happened. And then we also saw that after the Minister of Immigration announced in October that they're going to welcome more people than what was planned earlier, and when we also saw that express entry records are being shuttered, we saw that Canada, understanding the importance of allowing international students to come to Canada, they introduced the exemptions for international students recently on October the 2nd, and they allowed a number of students, if they are enrolled in a Canadian institute that has a COVID-19 readiness plan. So international students, because there were a lot of concern and anxiety because they were told that they can't travel to Canada and they can continue to study overseas, and their eligibility for postgraduate work permit will not be impacted if they continue to study overseas until December 31st, 2020. But in the recent announcement, they are also being allowed if their institute is on the list of approved institute who have been given a go-ahead by the government of Canada to welcome international students, rather. So that is also a good news for international students. Then there was a lot of anxiety among the travelers to Canada. The borders are, we know that are still closed, and foreign nationals are not allowed to travel to Canada. But just before the Thanksgiving, the minister announced that they recognize it is very important for family members to come to Canada, family members of Canadians. So they had included the spouses, parents, and step-parents, and other close family members. But then they expanded that list up to extended family members that also included siblings. And of course, there are conditions, but it was a welcoming news that close family members of Canadians are now allowed to travel to Canada. So these are some of the most talked about developments in Canadian immigration industry. But we also continue to see updates. And the last session we had last Saturday, from that point up to now, we have seen a lot of things happening still. Canada recently celebrated the fifth anniversary of Canada's Syrian refugee effort, which brought in 25,000 Syrians in 100 days to Canada. So that was a good feat, a milestone in Canadian immigration. We also saw that between the time we last spoke to you and now, provinces continued to invite people for provincial nomination for immigration to Canada. We saw that Prince Edward Island invited another 195 people in their new immigration draw. They have different streams. They have express entry, they have labor market, labor impact, and business impact streams. So they invited people under those. So all those people who were invited by Prince Edward Island would get 600 extra points and would be preferred in the next express entry draw. We also saw that the Ontario province invited another 668 immigration candidates in their new tech draw. So then the tech draw is directed towards technical people that include computer and information system managers, computer engineers and database analysts, and data administrators, software engineers and designers, computer programmers and interactive media developers, and web designers and developers. So this particular province has a separate stream for tech people, and it has actually nominated 7,819 applicants in the year 2020 alone. So you can see how aggressively provinces are taking part in immigration draws. So these were some of the updates for the provinces. We also saw that Manitoba also held the biggest draw of the year. This province has issued 4,888 invitation in 2020 alone. But in this particular draw that happened just 2 days ago, they invited 419 immigration candidates to apply. So they have three main streams: skilled workers in Manitoba, international education stream, and skilled workers overseas stream. And most of the, of course, invitations went to skilled workers in Manitoba. The 329 invitation went to them. But skilled worker overseas were also considered, and 50 invitations were sent to them. International education stream, where they target the international students who have studied from an institute based in Manitoba, they got 40 invites. So that was on the front of the provincial nomination. Let me invite our Asian regional director, Khawaja Naman, to this stream, and we'll continue to share with you the updates, and then we'll take your questions. Hello, Naman Saab, how are you doing? How's the weather in Karachi?
Excellent, Amar Saab. Weather is perfectly fine. We are almost around 14 to 16 here, and it's been a pleasure weather. I was hearing the recap that you have just give for the 2020. It was really, you have summarized it very well. And as you know, that Canada's greatest strength has always been like anti-discrimination policies. And I was also reading the migration index thing as well, and I saw that Canada has improved its ranking in terms of their migration policies to rank number 4. So it's been, we understand it's been a hard time for everyone, especially in these COVID circumstances. But yes, Canada has been phenomenal. and
Yeah,
their
so
immigration
let me
policies.
add there, and to the benefit of all our viewers, because there has been a little bit of impression that perhaps immigration has slowed down and people might not be interested. It's true that a pandemic has impacted every one of us, and it has actually have adverse impact on the economy of almost all of the world. And we see that people losing their jobs, and of course their main concern at this point in time is perhaps the their jobs and their livelihood. But it has also given a sense of urgency, where people are now recognizing that countries like Canada are more robust in terms of supporting their citizens when a catastrophe like this, uh, you know, it impacts, it come into force. And Canada has, you know, um, shown its commitment to its citizens, so much so that when the pandemic hit, we saw that Canada introduced the financial support system for their citizens, where they were offering incentives, not only to encourage them to work, but also recognizing that even if someone is interested in working, they might not be able to do so. And if they are unable to do so, they should be uh, given that much money that they can survive at least. So Canada had introduced the Canada Emergency Recovery Benefit to all Canadians, and they paid 2,000 Canadian dollars to each one of the Canadians if they met the criteria. Of course, if they didn't have any income last year, so they were able to apply. But for businesses as well, they introduced the rent subsidy. They introduced the wage subsidy. So basically, the government was paying from its own pocket for you to keep your employees intact. So to keep your employees a job, they were also paying a substantial portion of your rent. If your business has a premises and you were paying rent, the government was paying from its pocket so that you don't shut down your doors. Of course, the system is not perfect, and a lot of businesses did get shut down, and the job situation is recovering slowly but gradually. But it did give the confidence to the Canadian government that if such a catastrophe happens, if such a situation arises, their government is going to stand behind them. Now, with the introduction of the vaccine in Canada, we have already started inoculation of people, and of course, it will be available to the general public soon. It also gives a little bit of sense of security that the government is working day and night to make sure that everyone is vaccinated in this country. The situation here is still very fluid. We are still not out of words here because, of course, the vaccine, although it has arrived in Canada, is still not available to the general public. And until then, everyone has to take care. Everyone has to be vigilant and play their part in not spreading the virus. But at least there is a ray of hope, and it will be, of course, a ray of hope for all over the world, for all over the for all the countries. But Canada perhaps would be amongst the top countries where citizens will have access to a vaccine sooner, and of course free of cost. So the point I was making was that people are more interested in securing their future, raising their family and their children there, and pursuing their career in a more stable country. And it has always been the target, but this time around, because of the impact of the virus, people are more interested, and Canada is ready to welcome them. Canada is increasing the slots available, and it's a good opportunity for everyone. So this was about the Canadian immigration and the plans of Canadian government. And yes, indeed, whatever I say about Canada, it would be, of course, not up to what the country is all about. But these are the times where countries show their mettle. These are the times where countries show their strength, and we are happy that this is a good country to reside in. So with that, let me just quickly acknowledge a few more participants who have joined us right now. Okay. So Iram is kindly recommending her friends to join us. Yeah, please do tag your friends if they are interested in having their questions answered. We have a caller here. We will start with the caller, and you also can join us live on a screen if you want to. Just let us know and we'll add you in the stream. And as I advised earlier, you can also give us a call and we can take your live call today and try to answer your questions on our WhatsApp number, which is +1 647 835 0660. So we'll do that. I'm going to just show the WhatsApp number on the screen if you want to give us a call. I think, yeah, that's the number on a screen. So if you want to give us a call, and we'll try to accommodate. Although, of course, we would be preferring those who are commenting. Let me just remove this comment. And yeah. Okay, so the number is on your screen. You can give us a call, but let's take Bakhtiar Ali. He is joining us from Bahrain, and let's see what he has to say. Okay. Hi, Bakhtiar. Can you hear us? Okay, so I think Bakhtiar's mic is.
Hi,
He's here.
hi, Amir
Hi,
Saab.
Bakhtiar. How are you? You're live.
I'm good. What up? Yeah. Hi, Amir Saab. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for joining us today. And do you have any questions that we could assist you with today?
Yeah, Amir Saab. Actually, I just wanted to know for my immigration. Actually, I also book an appointment, privately with you, maybe on
Sure.
Monday or Tuesday. And
Okay.
but for now, actually, I just wanted to know. Actually, I'm 42 years old, and I have done masters plus 20 years of banking experience in different departments finance, accounts, admin, HR, and credit, foreign trade. Or I've done my ECA and I got a bachelor's, 4 years bachelor's. My
Yeah.
wife is basically a housewife. I have also done. She's also done the bachelor's in computer engineering, 4 years,
Yeah.
and recently she also got it her PGD, postgraduate diploma, 1 year,
Yeah.
and so we just wanted to know. I mean, what are the possibilities and what are the options are available for us?
Yeah, so of course, when we will be having our one-to-one sessions, we will be discussing in detail about those options. But in most of the cases
Yeah,
where you have a 4 years bachelor's degree and you are in such a age bracket where you're losing a little bit of points as well,
yeah,
depending on your IELTS score, we could
yeah,
look into the possibility of uh, you know various PNP options, and
yeah.
most suitable perhaps would be, I believe, Alberta and
Fine.
Ontario would also be one of the options. But we have to be
Okay.
very, very accurate in terms of allocating our resources, because if we
Hmm.
just run after a program that is not going to
Hmm.
materialize at the end of the day, we would end up
Hmm.
losing time and money only. So it's very, very important.
Right, Amir Saab. So, we'll inshallah discuss in detail on Monday or Tuesday. I'm
Sure.
also interested if the immigration is not possible. I mean, we are also interested in study or student visa study permit.
Sure.
So we will also discuss it.
Yes, perfect. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And thank you for your call today.
Thank you, Amir Saab.
Thank you. Take care. Okay, so that was, we are receiving few calls on WhatsApp today. So let's take the first call. Hello. Yes, are you calling through our live program today?
Yeah, I'm calling from the live program.
Okay, so let me just confirm with Khwaja Noman if he can hear your voice or not. Can you hear? Okay, wonderful.
Yes, yeah,
Okay,
I
great.
can.
Okay.
I
So
hear you.
can we
I
have your
can hear.
question, please? We can try to answer it.
Yes, please. Yes. Okay, I have done my 18-year of education, MS in Human Resource Management,
Right.
with the 10-year of experience in development sector.
Right.
My husband is a master's, 16-year of education, with the 12-year experience in technical, like SAP HR consultant. So with 2 kids. So what is the best option for us to apply for immigration?
Yeah, so we would look into your profile. We would require your CV to see which occupation we'll be targeting. We would also like to calculate your points, the ranking points, to see how many points you're scoring. On the face of it, it looks to be, it seems to be a very good case. But depending on various factors such as age, education, work experience, language skills, occupation is very important because we would be then able to target the correct provinces where your occupation is in demand. What we would recommend is that you share with us your CV via email, or you can complete our online assessment form on our website. It is a free assessment. You can complete it. Takes only 2 minutes to complete, and we get back to you within 2 business days with our opinion, and we also then arrange a one-to-one consultation thereafter.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for calling us today. Thank you. Okay, so that was another call. I will take a few comments, and then we'll see if we have more callers to attend to. So let's see. Okay, so the first comment that I would like to take is from Rajput Solari, is saying that he's 40 years of age, 6 years of air quality experience, and married with 2 kids. So let's request Khwaja Naman to attend to this.
Yeah, Rajput, seems your age seems to be on a higher side with 6 years of experience, obviously. But however, do fill out our assessment form. You still seems to have um, close chances in provincial program. So let's figure it out. Once you fill our assessment form, we'll able to figure it out whether you are qualifying in the PNP options. But seems like based on the age, seems like very close to PNP options. But let's see and figure it out what exact PNP options we have. So let's do fill out our assessment form on our website,
Okay, wonderful.
amirsmile.com.
Thank you for the response. And we are receiving few calls on WhatsApp too, but I'd take a few comments here because people who have joined us on Facebook and YouTube are sending in their questions. Okay, there is a question from Rizwan Ali. If you can't go to Canada to study for a degree and can't do IELTS, is there any other way to move to Canada? I'm single and I've done DAE. So let's have Khwaja Naman to respond to this. Okay, so we need to have Khwaja Naman. You have to unmute your mic, please.
All right. Yeah, Rizwan, I was just reading this comment of yours. Seems like you have done DAE diploma, which is seems like equivalent to intermediate in Pakistan. Obviously, that is FSC. So seems like you do not qualify because the reason is the education requirement. You should be having a minimum 3 to 4 years bachelor's degree or master's degree to qualify into this skilled worker category. Perhaps I would say I don't know about your age, but seems like maybe from your photo seems like you're young. But let's get hold of one more qualification into your CV, and then you can for sure apply for an immigration, and then we can assess you well.
Okay, so I think my mic was muted as well. So Haya, you have indicated that your IELTS band, how many IELTS bands are required for immigration? The minimum is actually six in each module, which is reading, writing, speaking, and listening. But minimum is usually not sufficient to get competitive score. So you have to try your best to get the best score. Um, in terms of your qualification, we understand that you're 34 years of age and 10 years of work experience. We need to know your occupation as well, and your educational qualification. And since you're married, we would like to know your spouse's educational qualification, his age, and his work experience. So we'll be able to make an accurate assessment of your eligibility. We recommend that you complete our online assessment form on our website, www.amirsmile.com, and we will then be able to provide you a free assessment of your eligibility within 2 business days. Please do so, and we'll be happy to assist you. Okay. Arsalan, thank you for joining us. Arsalan, you're a regular on our show. You're asking, let me know how much study gap is acceptable for student visa on SDS. I don't know if we answered this question last week or not, but let me ask Khwaja Noman to assist us with this.
Right, Arsalan. Study gap is acceptable in that case, provided it's like a very well explainable, and if it has a logical reasoning behind it, which can be explained in your study plan, of course. But obviously, if you've been into your career making thing, or obviously, and then 8 to 9 years of gap that you are having. So we will, I think we will be able to explain, and we perhaps discussed this in detail as well, or maybe a brief discussion we had on call when you called me last time. So let's, if you want to have a detailed discussion once again, most welcome. Do give us a call or do book up an appointment to have a detailed discussion. I think last time we asked to book a consultation, and perhaps then we could not able to make it somehow. Let's do that once again.
Yeah, so Arsalan, I don't know, you had a discussion, but perhaps you wanted to hear from me as well. Khwaja, I will second Khwaja Naman's observation and a comment about the gap. And people who are able to demonstrate that their study plan make logical sense and why they want to study after such a gap, and what would that qualification that you will acquire get them. And if it makes sense to the visa officer, there wouldn't be any problems, and we'll try to assist you with this. Give us a chance. We have been able to assist people for the last 30 years, and we hope that we could be of assistance to you as well. Okay. Riaz is saying, I'm 33 with 6.5 IELTS and PDG. Okay, so PDG is a
PGD, maybe.
A PGD, postgraduate diploma. Any chances? Yeah, so I'd recommend that you contact my assessment team, and they prefer to have the assessment form completed on our website, and we would let you know whether you're qualifying or not. Okay, Salman is saying, how much processing time for SDS program for students and 5-year gap is acceptable due to job? So as we indicated to other commenter, or Salan, that yes, study gap is not an issue, but you should be able to demonstrate as to why you are now interested in pursuing education after a year of 5 years. And there could be a very logical reason, like you want to improve your standing in your career now. So that could be one of the reasons, and there could be many other reasons as to why you wish to do it. So that would be one of the reasons. But in terms of the processing time, it is usually very quick. It's a matter of days. They make a decision. The program has been designed in such a way that it assists the visa officer in making a decision quickly. They ask you to fulfill certain of the requirements that, if you apply normally, would require the officer to look into those and assess and take a lot of time to make a decision. But having completed or met those requirements as described under the SDS and the documentary requirements, it will be very, very quick. So yeah, if you haven't taken any admission, if you need assistance in securing admission in a Canadian institute, feel free to get in touch with our team. We have a number of institute on our panel, and we'll be happy to secure your admission. Okay. There is another question from Omer. Which province is best for diploma graduate students to get PR easily? Omer, please give us a call. It's been 4 weeks in a row. I'm requesting you to give us a call. Give us a call and we'll discuss with you. Okay? Thank you. Muid is saying, what is a good CRS in days to come, in your opinion? So we don't really have any idea at the moment, but as we can see, the number of slots are increasing. So the CRS score would be adjusted to what the older level was. But at the same time, in most of the cases, clients are depending on the provincial nomination. And in provincial nomination, the dependence is most on the occupation, basically. And of course, the decision of the province to select an applicant. We are expecting that the score are going to go down. And how much would it go down will depend on the composition of the pool, right? So how many people are there?
Amrsa, one more thing which I'd like you to highlight to the audience, obviously, because there are a lot of questions in the people's mind. They just want to know, considering the specific announcement of the quota of 4 lakh immigrants for the upcoming year. Obviously, there will be an allocation to the provinces with an increased quotas with the provinces as well, and obviously with the federal selection. So how you see in terms of the new immigrants and or the candidates who's been looking to immigrate and constantly watching on the CRS scores, and how you see in that perspective?
Yeah, so this is a good comment. I appreciate that. Okay, so I think I'm actually losing track of lots of comments coming in. Let's take Ghulam Shabir's. He says, after receiving ITA from PEI PNP, submitting documents and status change to apply, then what are the next steps? So the next step would be that you would be nominated if you're approved by the province, and you get 600 extra points in your express entry pool. And in the next draw, you would get your ITA from the federal government to apply for permanent residence. And at that time, you will be given 90 days. Usually it is 60, but these days they're giving 90 days. In 90 days' time, you'll be submitting your documentation to the Canadian government for further processing. And they'll check all your documentation. If they find the application complete, and they conduct your background security checks and medical checks, and if everything is in order, you will be issued permanent residence visa. Hope that has answered the question. Zoshia Ali Zedi, thanks for joining us again, Zoshia. Nice to see you. It's nice to see you too. Is it possible without PLAB or IELTS I can apply for a job in Canada? You can't apply for a job in Canada directly. I mean, you can apply, of course, but the probability of getting a job offer is next to impossible. Trust you me, it is difficult. You need to apply for immigration. I believe that's the best route available to you. Apply for immigration and then secure a job once you are in Canada, rather than applying for a job from overseas. Especially if you're working in a regulated occupation, the chances of you getting a job offer in a regulated occupation is next to none. So yeah, so your question is not stupid. No question is stupid. Thanks for taking time to post that question. We appreciate your presence here. Okay. Wakas is asking, he's 37, he's done MBA, 14 years in banking experience, want to apply for immigration. He is working as an operations manager in a bank. Can you please tell me what are the chances for me to be qualified? So it seems to be good case for provincial nomination straight away. because I believe you are losing points in the age factor. People start losing points after the age 30. So as you turn 30, you start losing point, and by the time you are 37, you've lost uh, a lot of points, basically. You've done MBA. We need to see which sort of MBA is that, because in certain countries, some countries, the master's degree is obtained after a bachelor's degree, which is obtained after intermediate. So people study for 16 years to get their master's. So if it is an MBA, it might be through the 16 years of education route. So you'll be assigned points accordingly. So we need to look at your profile in detail. We will review your CV, and we'll see which provincial option could be best suited for you. You can also do your own research, by the way. The provinces have their own websites, and they have criteria mentioned on those. And you can do your research, and you can get back to us to have further clarification. Okay, so there is a big question coming up. It would basically cover the whole screen, I guess. Okay, Mohammed Hussain, thanks for this question, Mohammed. He's saying that he want to process his son's case. Son Muzammil Hussain is living in Karachi, and his education is 13 years because he's done matriculation plus 3 years diploma in computer science in June 2018 from St. Patrick's College. Additionally, 6 months practical course of computer. IELTS band is 5 academic. Duolingo test score is 100. Want to go to Canada for education for cybersecurity and computer forensic courses. Options. Okay. So we need to see whether he will be able to secure admission in a Canadian institute. Most Canadian institutes have a higher IELTS requirement. He has 5 bands, but there could be some institute that might be able to offer admission without the need of IELTS. Sometimes they require you to go for an additional English test. So we'll be able to see if there are institutes that are able to offer admission on the basis of 5 bands, or if there are institutes that might be able to offer an admission without the need of IELTS. So we would request you to have your son complete our student assessment form. It is on our website, www.amirismail.com. I'm going to show that on screen as well. How does it look like? And you'd be able to, he'd be able to complete it, and we'll be able to then make an assessment within 2 business days. Let me just show it for the benefit of our viewers as to where they can find our assessment form, right? So we're going to do that right now. Let me share the screen with you. So on this screen, you can see our website, www.amirismail.com. And on top of the screen, you see free assessment link. Click that, and you will be taken to the free assessment page, where you'll have different options to choose from. This is our free assessment page. So we have skilled worker assessment, we have business immigration assessment, student assessment, visitor visa assessment, and family sponsorship assessment. So since your son wants to go to Canada to study, he would be completing the student assessment or form. And let me show it to you on the screen. So this is our student assessment page, and he can, there is some information given about study in Canada, types of options available, steps involved, student direct stream, work opportunities after studying in Canada, after graduation, how can you proceed to permanent residence. These are the information you can see, and there are some videos as well for your guideline. But this is the assessment form that your son can complete to allow us to choose the best institute for him. Okay, so hope that has answered your question. Okay. Arsalan Hirani is asking again. Age is 30, 8-9 years experience, civil engineering, any chance in PNP program having low requirements. So Arsalan, I would recommend that you get in touch with Khwaja Noman. You've already spoken to him. So it might be a good idea to give him a call again, and he'll be happy to assist you. He's actually looking forward to be your representative soon. So when you give him a call, he'll give you guideline as to how can you retain our services to assist you further. Okay. Muid is asking, let me know about federal self-employed person program. So Muid, as you have the contact information of Khwaja Noman, I would recommend that you get in touch with him. He'll be happy to assist you with explanation. Our website also has the information, and you can read the definition of self-employed, the details about self-employed program on the IRCC website as well. But do give him a call, and he will be happy to explain to you what is involved in self-employed program. Okay, so let's have a few more questions before we move toward our WhatsApp calls that are pouring in as well at the same time as we are answering the questions. Nida is saying her age is 39. She's a lecturer. She's been to USA as a visiting scholar. She's doing MPhil in education, and if she can apply for PNP. Seems to be a good case. The only thing is that you're losing significant points in the age factor. We'll look into your profile. We'll be happy to do so. You can complete our assessment form. We'll let you know. And she's saying she's from Pakistan. So welcome, and thank you for joining us today. Okay, Jamshed is saying he is 30, has a degree in business administration, currently running his own company in Lahore. He wants to migrate with family. What are the requirements and how and where I can get a guideline? Do you have an office in Lahore? So Jamshed, we don't have an office in Lahore. We deal with all our Lahore-based clients directly from Toronto for the last several years. You can get in touch with our Toronto team anytime. But in terms of the opportunities available, there are people who are well educated and they're also running their own businesses. Sometimes even as a businessman, they may qualify as a skilled worker because they might have experience as a self-employed person in past, as a salaried person in past, but they might also qualify under the business option, where the minimum requirement is usually net assets of $500,000 and a requirement of investing $200,000 in your own business within 2 years of arriving in Canada. I would recommend that you complete our skilled worker assessment form. You don't have to complete our business assessment form. Based on the information you provide in the skilled assessment form, we will be able to make an assessment in both the programs, both skilled worker and business program, and then we can arrange a meeting to discuss your details in greater details. So we have a caller here. Let's bring him in. Jamal Shah is contacting us. Let's see. Okay. So, okay, Jamal Shah, welcome. Do you have any questions today? Okay, Jamal's mic is muted, I guess. Yeah, he's here. He's live. I don't know. Okay. I think his mic is muted, so we'll get on with other questions here. Okay. Ali Lagari is saying, my wife and I are seeking to migrate. He is a qualified CMA from ICMAP with over 4 years of experience. Wife and him both are under 30 years of age. Their bottleneck for applying is that his mother is dependent on him, and they are confused how we can take her along. Guidance would be appreciated as always. So Ali, you cannot add your mother in your application. Your application and your spouse's application will be processed together, she being your dependent or vice versa. If she is the principal applicant, you will be the dependent. If you have any children, they will be considered as they will be considered under your application. They'll be issued visa together, but your mother cannot be included in your application. The only way you could bring her in is either you sponsor her, but it takes time. To qualify as a sponsor, you have to be in Canada for 3 years before you could qualify to sponsor a parent or both parents. you need to also meet certain income criteria as well in those 3 years' time. So sponsorship might be a long-term solution, but the other way around could be that you bring her in on a visitor visa if you want to bring her in right away, or you bring her in on super visa if you already have a job in Canada and you meet the income requirement. Super visa allows parents to stay for up to 2 years in one go, and the duration of the visa is 10 years. So that could be the only option available at the moment. Otherwise, sponsorship could be the permanent solution to that. Khwaja Naman has to add anything, he can do so. Let me ask him. Yes, Khwaja Sahab, do you have anything to add? Any recommendation?
I think you have explained it well. Further, obviously, we
Sure.
can have a detailed look at the profile and
Zoshia
obviously
saying
the guide.
thank you for joining us today again, Zoshia. Thank you. Okay, Muhammad Abbas saying, do you offer a free consultation in Karachi? No, we don't offer free consultations in Karachi. We deal directly from Toronto. Get in touch with us and we'll be happy to assist you. Thank you. Muhammad Hassan Khan, I have 2+2 degree. I think he's saying, okay. Okay, so he has 2 years degree, and 2+2 would be basically 2 years bachelor's and 2 years master's, I guess. His question is he eligible for doing master's in Canada? So basically, the first step is to get admission in a Canadian institute. If you are meeting the requirement of admission in your chosen course and you're offered admission, then your next step would be to apply for study permit in Canada. So if you are interested in us assisting you secure admission in your preferred institute or in preferred course, get in touch with our team. Our assessment form and complete our assessment form for students. I just showed it earlier as well. Let me show it to you again on the screen. And so where you can find our, so this is the page for assessment. Basically, you need to click the free assessment tab and you'll find the assessment page, skilled worker, business, student, visitor, and family sponsorship. And you can choose the student assessment form for us to be able to assist you in applying for admissions. Okay. Zia, welcome once again from Malta. Is job offer mandatory for immigration to Canada? The CRS required. I want to take one-on-one session with you in future, please. Please do take that session. It will be useful because then we'll be able to discuss your personal details during that session. So let's do that. But a job offer is not mandatory to apply for immigration. It does help you in increasing your CRS, but it's not a mandatory requirement. Thank you so much. Thank you so much joining us today. Bhagwan Das saying he is 37 years of age. How much chances to get admission in PhD course? So I believe the concern is about the age. If you are 37, you are allowed to study at any age, Bhagwan Das. It's just that you need to be able to show that you are or proof that you are a genuine student. You will study in Canada, you will return back to your home country. And how would the Canadian study help you in your career in your home country? So it shouldn't be a problem. We have dealt with a number of mature student cases where there are gaps, but they will still be able to secure admission in Canada. The good thing about Canadian international student is that they pave way for their own permanent residency when they are in Canada, right? So it will be good. He already has a PhD degree, so I don't know if you could go for a higher PhD or a double PhD. We don't assist in securing admissions in PhD, by the way, because you are required to find a supervisor in Canada who needs to agree. So if you have found the supervisor, get the admission done on your own. And if you need assistance in study permit, we'll be happy to represent your application as your representatives. Okay, so we have a few more questions left to respond to, and we'll wrap it up. Imran Afzal is saying he's 43, 18 years of education, 15 years IT network system support experience. Please guide for immigration. Do you arrange job offer in Saskatchewan or Manitoba? So I would answer the last component, and then I'll ask Khwaja Naman to answer the first component. The last component, do you arrange job offer in Saskatchewan or Manitoba? The answer is a big no. So I hope you got that answer. But the rest of the question, Khwaja Naman can answer that.
Imran, your age is very close to the expiring age in Saskatchewan, but however, we need to evaluate your profile in detail. I can just confirm it to you that IT occupations are is still in demand in multiple provinces, inclusive of Saskatchewan. So, and plus, if you have a relative in Manitoba, that could also be a plus factor, or in Saskatchewan could also be a plus factor. So, do get in touch with us. If you have a relative, I assure the age would not be an issue for you, for sure. So let's do fill out our assessment form at our website, amirsmile.com, so that we able to assess you in detail on a one-to-one consultation and will able to guide you in detail about it.
Let's take another question. Ali Ahmed saying he needs clarification after receiving ITA within how many days we can add accompanying spouse. You can add your spouse anytime, Ali. It's up to you. You can add as long as you are adding the spouse before landing in Canada. You should be okay. You must have added the spouse, but you must have shown her not accompanying, so you can mark her accompanying anytime as you please. Fahad Salim is asking, he has a master's degree, 18 years of education in engineering, 35 years of age, have more than 10 years of experience. Is there any program for me to apply for PR? Yes, you have the Federal Skilled Worker Program. You have various provincial nominee program. Provide us further details about your job description, job duties, and if you're married, the qualification of your spouse. If you have any relatives in Canada, their whereabouts in Canada. So the best way could be to complete our assessment form and provide us. Otherwise, send us an email at info@amirsmile.com. We'll be able to help you. Shabazz is saying he's from Pakistan, 41 years of age, 15 years of work experience in supply chain. He's got 2 charters from UK, out of which one falls under skilled worker skill shortage list. So that's something wonderful. Khwaja Rahman, would you be able to answer this question, please?
Having 15 years of experience with the age 41, I believe you still stand chances in provincial programs until you crossed 44. So better to have it assessed and being consulted in detail and evaluate the options available for you in terms of PNPs, that is provincial nomination, and then we'll able to see where we stands.
Okay, wonderful. Fahd is adding to his earlier comment that he's got relatives in Ontario and has got experience in aircraft maintenance. So this seems to be one of the occupations listed in one of the provinces' demand list, and we'll be able to evaluate and let you know whether it would be feasible, suitable for you to apply. Oasis saying he's a telecom engineer, 7 years of experience. He's got 7 each in IELTS, PNP program, which has SOL for telecom engineer. Okay, so yeah, maybe Khwaja Naman can add further comments to it, please.
Yeah, in terms of telecommunication engineering, we do need to check your occupation where it stands in terms of PNPs. So better I would still stick to my refrain to comment further on the availability of the PNP, but let's fill out our assessment form. Our team will definitely assess you in detail and will guide you.
And those people who have done their own research, they have done their WES, they have done their IELTS. I'm sure that you're a well-informed person. You have done your research. You know the whole procedure inside out. But still, as a professional, because you're approaching another professional, that is us, you want assistance. So for those clients who are already well aware about their option, but they are looking for that one small important information about the PNP so that they can proceed to approach that province on their own, we recommend them to book a formal consultation. It's a paid consultation. It comes with a refundable option of a fee, refundable fee option, where if they retain our services, we refund that fee. But it will be worth your while to book that, because you'll be then able to get the important information you're seeking against a very small cost. So I'd highly recommend you to do that. But it's up to you. You can do your own research as well, and that will not cost you anything. Fahad is saying thank you. You're welcome, Fahad. So I'll scroll through some of the other comments if we have any other comments, or if we are receiving any calls on WhatsApp. I did actually miss a lot of calls on WhatsApp, so I apologize for not being able to take those. But there are a few people who are calling us on WhatsApp too. But I'll scroll through the comments very quickly to see if there are any questions, and if you have um, any questions, this is the last minute we are going through. Let's see if we have further questions to take. Otherwise, we'll say goodbye to you, and we'll join you again next week, same time, 11 a.m. EST. We are online every Saturday to answer your queries. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to send your an email to info@amirsmile.com, or complete the assessment form. I think I'll be taking one last question coming from Umar Hayat. He says he has 2 bachelors in mechanical and 9 years experience and automotive. By the way, for automotive, we had a big draw that happened from Nova Scotia, I believe, a few months back. It was directed to automotive professionals, but automotive professionals could be considered in any other province as well. Um, and he's got 6.5 in each. In can he apply for PNP? So yeah, you can apply under a PNP, but you have to make sure which PNP would that be, right? So do complete our assessment form. Maybe Khwaja Noman can add further into it, please. Yeah, so I don't know if I could unmute Khwaja Noman or not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Omar, you can apply for you can apply for PNP options, obviously based on 6.5 in each. There are a few of the options, but we still we need to evaluate the number of years of experience that you have and the age that you are in. We can evaluate that and see whether you are making the 67 pass mark to be the part of the pool. And if you are, then obviously you can easily apply. There's one person, Amir Saab, Jamal Shah. Perhaps he called on the WhatsApp and could not unmute the mic. He posted his question in private. So the question was: it's been 2.5 years. My application was transferred to Etobicoke office from last 20 months. They even didn't update my status or not contacted me for interview or further documents. Do you have any idea? So, what you say on this? Perhaps I suggest that whether he should book a one-to-one consultation, because there may be technicalities involved to answer.
Yeah, so when you apply for inland spousal application, and if the application has been transferred to Etobicoke and he has not heard from them, it is the processing time that is coming into play. And because of coronavirus, it has actually delayed a lot of applications within Canada. IRCC was not working up to the mark. But if you want to know as to what the officer is thinking about the application, if there are any updates required, I would second your opinion that he can book a consultation with us, and we'll be happy to provide our opinion on the case. We would, however, require details on the application, and to see if there are any concerns that are causing the delay. But on the face of it, it looks like the usual delay that is being caused because of the pandemic. Okay, so I believe we have attended to all the questions. Omar is saying thank you. You're welcome, Omar. And thank you everyone for joining us today. We will join you once again the next week, same time on Saturday, 11 a.m. EST. Do like our page and bookmark us and join us on Saturday next time. So until then, we say goodbye to you and thank you, Khwaja Sahab, for joining us today again.
Most welcome. It's been a pleasure always.
Perfect. Take care. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.